Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. I have another awesome quality story from my audience, so let's get into it. So, there's nothing better when your parents actually teach you hard work. Um, to teach you the hard values of hard work and how hard work pays off. So, there was one time I was like a teenager. I was like 16, and I was excited. My one parent was like fixing up the house, painting it, kind of renovating it, making it look really good, and he did a good job. And he wanted to paint, but he wanted somebody to keep him company and motivate him. So then he told me, he's like, you know what, if you can if you can basically stay up as long as you can, and you help me paint, and we work very hard and we get it done, i will I'll happily pay you $10. And, as a teenager, I was like, money's money, and I'm not going to complain how much it is, It's the best work. And he's like, after you're finished, you'll feel good because you worked hard and you got money for it. So then I was like, okay, deal, bet. So then we end up pretty much staying up as long as I could. I stayed up until, like, I don't know, almost 6 o'clock. It was pretty awesome. So basically, what we did is we obviously, it was kind of it can be a pain in the butt to paint, but it could be fun in the same way. So you have to cover everything up. So what we did is we moved everything around. We covered up the whole floor. We taped it up, making it look good. So if we actually spill on the floor stuff, we don't have to worry. We taped up the side of the walls, like we taped it up, so you can only have that one spot. So we basically like taped everything up. We got everything looking good. We cleaned the walls. We did everything you need to do. Prepare for your painting. Got like brand new brushes and a new paint stand thing. Everything we need to paint, right? And he started on one side. I started on the other side, and and all you need is a little bit of music, and you got to paint, right? And because I never really painted before, so obviously my parents would have a lot more experience painting than I would, but it was still a good experience. I got a brush, you know, and they just tell me to do a nice brush and just keep doing it. Try to take your time. There's no rush. Take your time, and just do a good job, right? And I was doing it, and they told me I was doing a good job. I was doing a lot better than they expected, and that was a good feeling. And we were doing the whole living room. That's why it took a while, and we had to move all the furniture out of the way, so we kind of had to move it into like the kitchen area. Because you need space to move around because you're gonna go from one wall, second wall. There's like four walls in total in the place we were painting the living room, right? The living room is a decent sized room. It's not super huge, but it's not super small either. It's like in between. I guess I'd say it's like an average sized living room, you know, but it's pretty nice. So, we had to move everything out of the kitchen and put it in there, and it was pretty good. So we started at one wall. He did one side, I did the other side. We painted it, fixed it up. And it took a long time only because we painted that wall. We got it finished, right? Then we went to the next wall. We did the same thing. We kind of painted it, did a good job, all that stuff. And then when we're painting that wall, then you go back to the other wall and you have to coat it again, because sometimes you have to coat it more than once. um so we go back, we coat it, we do it. Then we go back to that wall, we coat it. We have to coat that wall. And then we go to the next wall, and we have to start coating that. But the next wall, the third wall, wasn't as bad. It was because there's like a window thing. So we just painted that, did that. Then we moved over, went to the next wall, painted the fourth wall, did a good job. It took a while. Then we went back to the other wall, painted it, got it, making it look good with the second coat. Then we went back to the other wall and did another coat until it all dries and looks good and we got enough coat on there. And sometimes it takes two or three coats to fully, to cover everything and make it look good. It just depends. Sometimes it depends on the paint and the quality of the paint. Sometimes you can do like one coat on the wall. You learn something new. Everything I learned from my knowledge and hard work and from my parents. So I know a little bit here, helping my parents out. Just helping out in general. Learning things. Just like another instance, I was happy because what ended up happening is I worked very hard and I ended up getting my $10, and I was happy. I could spend it. I think I ended up spending a little bit, but then saving a little bit, and I felt good. I helped out. It looked good. Your parents are happy. You worked hard, and you learned the value of money. And then another instance is like helping out with like gardening and stuff. Um, so I end up helping out my parent with. I didn't get money at this time, but I wasn't. I was just wanted to help, right? Just learning the hard works pays off. So we had to do the back, like we had to do the backyard of the house, right? So he told me to rip out like the little plants and stuff we don't need. He was planting in new bushes and stuff. Then he like cleans up the bushes, he cuts it, he cuts it up, makes it look good, makes it all cleaned up, cleans up the bushes, cleans it up, everything. Because through the summertime, the bushes and everything and the trees and stuff in the backyard really blooms up through the summertime, and it gets like the bushes get huge. Um, Sometimes I tell him, "Oh, it sucks. You can't just leave it like a forest," and he could, but people would probably complain and say it looks messy. I do like the I like the forest look, but it has to look clean forest look, if that makes sense. So yeah, like basically a garden full of like plants and stuff, like covered in plants, all nice plants, just styled up good with rocks and stuff, you know, and then nice soil, you know how a nice garden looks when you look at it with nice lights, just when you look at it, you'll know it's nice. It looks really good. We did that. It looked really good. Because we had one selector. We have a small selector of garden with a big tree. We have different selectors. We have it looks really good when it's cleaned up. It looks really good. It looks like a really good garden, and it's a decent sized garden. There used to be trees and stuff in there, but had to cut it down. We used to have a we had a really I remember I was like younger. I remember when I was small, and once I got to, I don't know, almost not even a teenager yet, a couple of years, it was like a huge tree that was past the house. And then I guess it ended up getting cut down because I guess somebody complained and somebody cut it down. We still don't know to this day who cut down the tree. Um, but we weren't I guess my parent wasn't mad about it because you know it needed to go anyways. It was an old tree anyways. But yeah, we that's what we do. Like every summer, we maintain the garden. Like, we maintain the front and the back of the house to make sure it looks good. It's not like it doesn't look good. It just sometimes it needs like cutting. It needs maintaining. To have a nice house, you need to maintain everything and make it look good, and that's what we do every year. So it looks really good. So I guess the point of this story is always listen to your parents, always listen to like feedback and stuff, because that's how you learn that's how you learn hard work. Me going out and help my parents and helping with the front and the back and helping around the house. I'm learning hard work from that. I'm learning hard work pays off, and they show you, see what happens when you take your time and you do hard work. Everything comes together, and and it looks good. So yeah, that's basically. I hope everyone learns hard work. I sure learn hard work. And yeah, thank you for listening to my story. I hope my audience can relate to my story in some sort of way. I really appreciate it. I work very hard on my videos every day to so people can enjoy my videos and can relate to my videos. Thank you, everyone. I will see you tomorrow with another awesome quality video. Goodbye, everyone.